speak to people? What would your letter say if it addressed how you talk to people, how you criticize some folk? What would your letter say if he exposed some of the lies and some of the missteps? What would your letter say?
All right.
Let me go. I want to move on. But the blessing is that he wrote the letter individually to each church. See, his purpose wasn't to put anybody's business out on the street. What he was speaking to you is just for you. And it's just for me. You know, sometimes I get worried about what folks know about me. You know, where I go, Brother Waterford, be quiet. Where I've come from, the things that I've been involved with. You may not see me the same way. But you know what the blessing is about this passage of scripture? Even if these churches weren't where they should be, the blessing is that the Lord spoke right to them. And the Lord wants to improve or to uplift or to encourage them to be better. What would your letter say? Here, out of all the 7 letters, we don't have time to go through all the 7 letters, but here on the 7th letter was addressed to the church at Laodicea. That church, although it was planted by Paul some time ago, that church had gone astray a little bit. And out of all of the letters that the Lord had written to the churches, this was the most harshest of all the letters. It's because the church thought that they had already arrived, that they were already wealthy and rich and didn't require any assistance, that didn't require any substance, any help. It didn't require all of that. They thought that they had already arrived, that they were already doing the work that the Lord had called them to do. You know what? You got to be careful when you start thinking that you're doing something great and you haven't checked in with God to see what God thinks about it. You got to be careful when you think that the church can't go on because you're going to miss a Sunday. You know, I used to think that way. Who's going to handle the sound system? Who's going to point the cameras? Who's going to sing the songs? Who's going to do all these different things? But I've learned over time that the Lord's church will continue on. It will continue with you, or it will continue out without you. Amen. Amen. You got to remember, you are. And you may sing like an angel, but there's somebody coming up right after you. Oh, okay, take the emergency brakes off me. Yeah, you may be able to preach like Paul, but I guarantee you there's somebody that's preaching that's going to be coming right up behind me that will be able to preach better than I can preach. Well, yeah, you the usher. I know you the main usher. I know you think you regulating everything. But let me tell you something. There's another little usher somewhere that's just waiting to take his spot on the door. I know you think you're a missionary. I know you think you're a mother. I know you think you're a choir member. But I've come to tell you, we're going to be here always. God is going to raise up the next generation to take their rightful place. And after I'm dead and gone, there'll still be somebody preaching from this pulpit. There'll still be a choir singing in a choir stand. There'll still be a deacon singing a hymn and quoting a scripture. There'll still be an usher sitting on the door. When I'm gone and when you're gone, he's going to rise somebody up. Let's not make any mistakes about it. You don't have to worry because God's going to keep this going. Somebody said, well, what if your sons don't preach? I said, he's going to raise up another preacher. A qualification to stand here and preach doesn't mean your last name needs to be Williams. He will raise somebody up. Now, if we don't praise him, let me tell you something here today. The rocks are going to cry out. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you want to be stingy with your praise, if you want to be stingy with your hallelujah, if you don't want to lift your hands until your song come around, that's all right. The rocks are going to cry out. He'll raise up the next generation and tell you to sit down and let those children give praise and perfected praise. He will be praised. That's why the church will always say, oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together. Don't be concerned if you won't do it, we got somebody else. If you won't praise him, he's got somebody else. If you won't sing on his program, he's got somebody else. If you don't want to be ours, that's all right. He's got somebody else. This is God's house. God runs this. God is. He's in control. Control of the music. Control of the preaching. Control of the singing. Control of the deacons. God's got this. He's got it. And he's going to keep it alive. Church members at Laodicea got confused because they thought they had it all together. And as we learned at the marriage ministry yesterday, that it is Christ that keeps everything together. He was the first and he'll be the last.